Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Millar begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, as thousands of interstate visitors descend on Tasmania this weekend, our COVID precautions will face their biggest challenge yet. Public Health has reassured all protective measures are being taken as COVID outbreaks spread on the mainland.
In Melbourne, restrictions begin to ease as the coronavirus threat lingers. In New South Wales, cars queue as a COVID cluster grows to 4.
We're asking people to modify their activity, to consider where they've been, what their movements have been and what the movements may be.
Here in Tasmania, Public Health is reacting, declaring 40 locations around Bondi high risk.
If you're at any of these premises at the dates and times identified, you'll not be able to enter Tasmania at this time.
But despite COVID shutting down mainland cities, this weekend is shaping up to be Tasmania's biggest test yet. Tickets sold out for blockbuster AFL matches, major concerts and dark mofo. Thousands from all corners of the nation mixing together right here.
Followed the COVID-safe protocols to the letter. Now, this will be an important weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, but at the end of the day, it'll be the first time that we have had significant numbers of people mixing at a significant number of events.
Assuring all precautions have been taken to keep punters safe. Strict rules enforced on everyone coming in, including AFL players.
The State Control Centre and Public Health have agreed to a range of strict conditions for these matches to be conducted. The Victorian clubs will fly in on the day of the game and go straight to the ground without any contact with our community.
Dark mofo forging ahead despite the ever-growing uncertainty over crowd numbers.
I'm really lucky to be here and be a part of it. I had to get a pass to come over, a special pass for work. I couldn't bring my partner with me.
Meanwhile, Public Health is scrambling to accommodate national vaccine changes, recommending AstraZeneca only be used for people aged 60 and over.
We will open additional Pfizer clinics and will be extending current clinics to take on these additional appointments.
Urging eligible Tasmanians to get their jabs, confident the state has enough to go around. Michelle WISBEY, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor leader David O'Byrne has unveiled his party's new shadow cabinet. Former leader Rebecca White has been handed the Treasury portfolio, while new MP Dean Winter picked up finance and energy.
This shadow cabinet is a strong team. It's a team that can get behind the needs of the Tasmanian people, hold the government to account and build a platform and vision for the future of Tasmania.
Jen Butler was a notable exception in the lineup after previously serving as Shadow Minister for Fire and Emergency Services. An Ulverston man has appeared in court after being charged with the stabbing murder of a young Sunshine Coast woman. Multiple fundraisers have been set up to support the victim's daughter and bring her body home to Queensland. Reporter Letitia Wallace has the details.
Colin William Drake appeared in the Devonport Magistrates Court this morning after being charged with murder last night, almost 48 hours after Gabrielle Marshall was allegedly stabbed to death in her friend's house. The 23-year-old only moved to Tasmania from the Sunshine Coast 3 weeks ago in search of a fresh start. Police say Miss Marshall and the 35-year-old man weren't known to each other. Her friend's 2 young children were also inside the home at the time. Mr. Drake was arrested hours later at a house on the same street the alleged killing took place. Her heartbroken family has set up a GoFundMe page to bring the mother of one's body home to Queensland and to assist with funeral costs. Her brother Shannon McCarthy remembering his sister as a firecracker, a bright spark that could go off at any given time, a real clown who just wanted the best for those around her. A second online fundraiser to help support Miss Marshall's 6-year-old daughter Summer has received almost $2,000. Mr. Drake didn't apply for bail and was remanded in custody to reappear in court next month.
Tasmania will soon make non-fatal strangulation a criminal offence. Family violence campaigners who have spent years pushing for the reform say the move will change and even save lives.
She can't be named for legal reasons, but she lived through fear and abuse for 17 years.
Non-fatal strangulation was part of that abuse, but at the time I didn't realise how serious it was.
She lived under threat of violence, even death.
In the end, I became grateful that he didn't follow through and actually kill me. And that's an awful situation for anyone to be in.
She's now become an author and campaigner to see non-fatal strangulation classed as its own crime, a call the state government today answered.
What we're doing by creating a standalone offence is naming up the act of strangulation, choking and suffocating.
Finally, such good news.
The announcement follows a report by the Sentence Advisory Council into the issue. Tasmania and Victoria are the only states without the law.
Victim survivors can rely on our government responding to these very serious issues.
Family Violence Services say the decision sends a strong message.
If you are the victim of non-fatal strangulation, you have a sevenfold increase of being the subject of homicide by that partner at a later point.
Non-fatal strangulation is an incredibly serious crime. It can have long-term impacts on somebody's health. It can cause acquired brain injuries.
Legislation is expected to be brought to Parliament next year. Not soon enough, argue the Greens.
This can be a life and death matter for women, and it is something that the Minister must urgently bring to Parliament as soon as possible.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
And if this story has caused distress, you can contact 1-800-RESPECT. Well, some of Tasmania's bosses will be sleeping rough tonight in an effort to raise awareness of homelessness in the state. The CEO Sleep Out is the biggest fundraiser for the St Vincent de Paul Society. Our reporter Josh Duggan joins us from UTAS Stadium now. Josh, what do the participants have with them to make it through tonight?
Kim, they're only allowed to bring a sleeping bag and a pillow with them, but when they get here, they'll get a piece of cardboard and also a warm meal. Over the course of the night, they'll also have the opportunity to bid for a few creature comforts like a couch and a swag, which should make things a little bit easier. Over 40 local business figures have registered for the event, including Michael Ferguson, the Housing Minister, who will be in attendance. It's a welcome change from last year, which saw the participants sleeping out on their own and linking up virtually through the night. To tell us a little bit more about this year's event, I have with me Vinnie's president, Mark Gaetani. Mark, you're here sleeping out this year. Why do you think people keep coming back to this event?
The feedback that I receive from CEOs as to why they participate is because of the opportunity for them to hear firsthand experiences of those that are actually serving and helping those that sleep rough or at risk of homelessness. And it's also an opportunity for them to come and share and experience just one night what the homeless experience for 365 days of a year.
You guys have set a $250,000 funding target. How is that money going to be shared with the less fortunate?
Yes, we've set a target of $250,000. Every dollar that we raise tonight will go to our Louis vans, our 5 vans across Tasmania. It'll go to providing emergency relief in terms of food, warm clothing, and it'll also help those at risk of homelessness pay their utility bills, their electricity costs, and provide food.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck braving the cold tonight. Launceston is set for a low of around 6 degrees and there's a 50% chance of rain, so some rough weather is on the way. But Kim, it's worth remembering, 1,600 people do this in Tasmania every single night.
Yeah, good reality check. Thanks very much there, Josh, there at UTAS Stadium. We wish them the best in raising that $250,000 as well. A new Mona exhibit filled with bird calls and animated videos is looking to challenge perceptions of older women in our society. CRONE is the product of local artist Sally Rees, who spent hours filming other women and hand animating the videos.
With all eyes on Mona, they've taken the chance to unveil their latest exhibition, a 17-piece audiovisual collection named CRONE.
As I was approaching and thinking about my 50th birthday, it seems to be, it's a fairly arbitrary number really, but it seems to be considered a very significant turning point in people's ageing.
CRONE intends to challenge perceptions of older women in society.
Well, I think what Sally does with this exhibition is acknowledge the invisibility that women feel at a certain age, and I guess the fact that we live in a society that very much privileges youth.
Rees filmed and recorded other women before hand animating the videos.
The women are all people from my own network. My mother is here, my closest friends are here.
And there's something very, we were just saying, very hypnotic about it, but also very poetic, powerful.
The exhibition is part of the Cathy Cavalier Scholarship, which has funded 3 major art installations for female identifying artists.
And it just seems to speak to, I think, some of the themes and ideas that really informed the fellowship in the first place.
CRONE has been waiting in the wings for a while. The pandemic shutdown delayed its release.
It's such a relief. I'm so relieved for Sally, for the work to be out in the world.
I suppose what I hope is that people come away with a sense of enchantment.
It's on show from tomorrow until November. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tickets to the Bombers-Hawks clash in Launceston sold out today as fans race to catch a glimpse of the 2 Titans in Tasmania, while Kangaroos coach David Noble is preparing to go head-to-head with fellow Tasmanian Chris Fagan. From a crushing draw with the Giants, the Roos now face a Brisbane outfit with some sentimental encouragement when Queenstown-born Chris Fagan coaches his 100th game for the Lions in his home state.
Fags and I have had a long coaching history from TAC Cup to AFL reserves and now at AFL senior level.
The Roos hit the track ahead of Saturday's fly-in, fly-out match, with fewer than 3,500 making their way to the Giants game. There's no doubt North Melbourne will be after a better showing for this weekend's encore.
Our Tassie members are able to come to the game for free this week. So yeah, we're really looking forward to our fans getting out and coming out to support us.
Hawthorn has the opposite problem, with fans struggling to secure a seat to the historic Bombers fixture.
Of late as well, it's been pretty weird playing in front of some small crowds.
It's a homecoming of sorts for Blake Hardwick, who made his debut in Launceston in 2016 against the Blues alongside Luke Hodge.
A memory from that day is my first kick went out the full, so that wasn't that didn't go to plan. But yeah, that was my first game down there, so it's good memories.
Locally, the TSL's games record will be broken this weekend when Jay Blackberry lines up for game 213.
2 flags were obviously big highlights. State footy, whether that was 18s or senior level, they're obviously massive highlights as well.
Ironically, he'll pass Glenorchy legend Jay Bowden's tally at KG5, although there's nothing but respect from the Pies champion.
Wish you all the best, mate. I'm sure the Launceston boys will look after you this weekend as they should.
I'm sure we'll have a few beers afterwards, but yeah, it's going to be a good day for both of us.
Although Glenorchy's coach is standing by his man.
Who's the better player, Jay?
Jay.
Or Jay?
Jay. I'm sure Jay Blackberry won't be insulted by me saying that you know, Jay Bowden does stand head and shoulders, I think. Not just above him, but above most who have played in the State League.
And North Hobart has one of its most winnable games coming up against Lauderdale. Both sides are locked on 1 win each. The D's will put a lot of effort into Lauderdale's top brass.
They've got some, you know, A-grade players. If you look at the averages of players, a lot of their guys like Siggins and Franklin, they still sit in their top 10. So, yeah, we already have, but yeah, we'll certainly be putting a lot of work into those guys.
Despite swimming a qualifying time, Tasmanian para-swimmer Jacob Templeton won't be heading to Tokyo. Templeton stormed to 3rd in the 100 metres backstroke multi-class at the Australian Swim Trials in Adelaide, but was disqualified after the race.
Good evening. Showers about the east and southeast today, mostly fine elsewhere. 12 in Hobart, Launceston and Devonport 14, Burnie 15. Smithton also reaching a top of 15 degrees today. King and Flinders Islands, St Helens and Strahan all 14. 13 at Scottsdale, Low Head, Bushy Park and the Friendly Beaches. Grove 10. Thick cloud over the state today, especially over the east. Sunny breaks in the west. Further out in cloud over the Tasman Sea, convective cloud over parts of South Australia and Western Victoria. Tomorrow's chart and a high over southeastern WA will extend a ridge over most of the country. A low in the Tasman Sea extends a trough. Coastal waters and east to southeasterly winds at 10 to 20 knots, swells to 4 metres for the west and south. And a strong wind warning tomorrow from the northern tip of Flinders Island to St Helens Point. A minor flood warning for the Macquarie and South Esk rivers. A flood watch for the eastern half of the state. Hobart and Huonville tomorrow rain, possible heavy falls 14, Campania rain easing and 15. In the north, Launceston and Georgetown morning showers and 15, a shower or two for Devonport. A possible morning shower in Burnie 15, Strawn, Fine and 15, a cloudy day for Wynyard 15 also. Rain easing for St Helens and Swansea, Port Arthur, early rain on the way, 14 the top. Looking ahead to Saturday, light showers about the southwest and east, otherwise fine. Sunday, a fine day, possible showers for the west. And on to Monday, another fine day, some possible showers falling about the west once again. Capital cities tomorrow, it's a sunny day for Darwin, 33 degrees, Brisbane 21, 19 for Sydney and Perth, Canberra 13, Adelaide showers and 16, showers forecast for Melbourne, 14 the top. And it's 12 degrees right now in Hobart, 11 in Launceston, Devonport sitting on 9. That's Thursday's weather, Kim.
Thanks very much, Laura. And that is all we have time for tonight. Good night.